Versailles Palace outside Paris. A century ago, leaders signed a treaty here, ending the First World War. But it also laid the foundations for World War II. European Union heads of state will meet here this week. They hope to avoid yet another major war on the continent, partly by beefing up the military muscle of the 27-member bloc. A strong European defense is a long-standing goal of President Emmanuel Macron of France, which currently heads the rotating EU presidency. In an address last week, he said Europe could no longer depend on others to defend it. Yet until Russia's invasion of Ukraine, European defense had not been a top priority for other European leaders.
The war that broke out in Ukraine has provoked a sort of shock in our European consciousness of what is our duty toward this country. And perhaps the Europeans are realizing that they should pay more for their own protection.
European countries, even once neutral ones like Sweden, are now sending weapons and other military equipment to Ukraine. In a groundbreaking move, the EU as a whole is financing the purchase of weapons to a country under attack. Some non-NATO EU members are considering joining the transatlantic alliance. Many are ramping up their defense spending for the first time in years. For Germany, it's a dramatic shift of its post-World War II policy.
European security and defense has evolved more in the last 6 days than in the last 2 decades.
Others are also applauding the change. The United States has long pushed for greater European spending on NATO defense. But the EU is also drafting a military strategy independent of Washington. Leaders like Macron say it aims to complement NATO. But experts say it's also shaped by the EU's rocky relationship with the Trump administration and differences over Washington's pullout of Afghanistan.
We sort of realized that perhaps the Americans would not always be there for our own security, and we should take care of our own security.
But some question whether Europe's military drive will be lasting.
I remain cautious. I don't think that we should underestimate what has been said by the German leaders and others over the past week, but I think that this is too early to say that Europe has awakened.
And it will take years, experts say, for Europe to build up its defense, too long to make a difference in today's war in Ukraine. Lisa Bryant for VOA News, Paris.